So here we have the question, how many moles of silver are needed to react with 40 moles of nitric acid? Just an overall quick rundown of the general formula. You have what you're given in moles. It's very important to be moles times the mole ratio, which of course is going to be molecules of what you're trying to find divided by molecules of what you're given. And then this is optional. If it's asking you to convert it to grams, liters, atoms, whatever, you would convert it by multiplying accordingly. So if it's asking you for liters, you'd multiply it by 22.4. If it was asking for atoms, you would multiply it by 6.03 times 10 to the power of 23. And if it was asking for grams, you would multiply it by its atomic mass. Automatically, because we are given 40 moles, I'm going to put that here, just to the left side of the equation, because this value is almost always going to be the value they give you. This is going to be 40 moles of NO or HNO2. It's whatever. So we're going to multiply this by what's called the mole ratio. So the bottom part is going to be the molecules of this. So this is going to be our nitric acid, because you see it has the hydrogen at the front, and then this is nitrite, sorry. So this has 4 molecules. So this is going to be 4 down here. And then this right here is going to be the molecules of what you're trying to find. So we're trying to find silver, which is Ag. So that's right here. You can see we have 3 molecules of Ag. So we multiply that, it's going to be 3/4. This will be equal to, you can see here, this is 30. So it would take 30 moles of Ag to react with 40 moles of nitric acid. If you're given the weight, let's say instead of 40 moles, it gives us 40 grams, then all you do is simply convert this to moles. So you'd get the weight divided by the atomic mass. So if we go to the periodic table, find H 1.0, I'll just cut it off at 1.07. Let me just get Desmos. 40 divided by 1.007. And that's going to be nitrogen. Should be 14.07 if I remember correctly. Let me check. Where's nitrogen? Yeah. And then 15.999 times 2, because there's 2 oxygens, so that contributes to the weight. Oxygen should be 15.999. Yeah. So this is going to be the amount of moles that you have. So then you could just do it as normal, 4 on the bottom, 3 on the top. So like that. So if we were given grams instead of moles, we would have 0.63 moles of silver needed to react. But it doesn't say that, so you don't need to. That was just a little bit of extra information. Again, just to reiterate, this 3 is going to come from what you're trying to find, the amount of molecules in the equation. So since we're trying to find Ag, it's going to be 3. And then this is going to be what you're given. So we're given nitric acid, which has 4. So that's where the 4 comes from. So that's how we're going to get the 30 moles. Additionally, if it asked you how many grams of silver are needed, let's just change this to grams. You would keep the equation pretty much the exact same as we already have. But instead of having our final answer be in moles, we would simply convert it into grams. So the way we would do that is by multiplying it to the atomic weight. The atomic weight of silver, pull up your periodic table, you can see that although it does have 3 molecules, the actual formula is just Ag. There is a 1 here for the subscript. So all you're going to need is the atomic mass of just silver. So you get silver, it's 107.87. Label this as grams. This is going to be equal to, let me pull up Desmos again. Just to be clear, we're working with back to moles here. 43 over 4, 107.87. This would be 3,236.1 grams of silver are needed to react with 40 moles of nitric acid. And although it's not present in this equation, it is extremely important to know that, let's say It's one of the 7 diatomic elements. If you don't know what those are, they're basically elements that if they're alone, they have to have 2 of them. So like if it's nitrogen, you can't just have nitrogen with a subscript of 1. You'd have to have a subscript of 2. That is important because this atomic weight is not going to be 14.007. It's going to be 14.007 times 2 because there's 2 of them. So if this was like, instead of silver, if this was nitrogen, we would have to multiply this by 14.007 times 2. That's just important to know because that is a point where a lot of people mess up, is they forget that diatomic atoms have a subscript of 2. So if you have any questions, just let me know. Hoping that I explained this in detail enough to catch any errors that you may have.